All right, everyone. We are back with the next episode of the Raiders Rambles. I am Jolt, chief host of the show, and joining me as usual is none other than my co-host, Avira.
Hey guys, happy Friday. Hope everyone's doing fantastic today. Yeah, I am.
And I hope there's nothing in the air that's causing everyone to mysteriously get sick or anything like that, which is what happened to me this whole past week and a half.
Oof. Yeah, that was me last week. A couple days, pretty bad fever.
Oh yeah, tell me about it, because I was like, everyone around my work was like, you brought a disease from America.
I'm glad you're feeling a bit better today. You know, tea helps, right?
Of
Don't
course,
forget,
I love
sharing
tea.
is caring.
Mm-hmm. After, yep. And as always, we have joining us today, as always, the interim host who I thought I'd forgotten about, but I haven't. Noble.
And good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, and whatever the hell time it is on your end of the world.
Yeah, I know. I've been busy the past. I know. I've been out of it the past. God knows how many weeks. I was like, oh, when Noble gonna get back on? So, so real sorry about that. But now you're back on.
Yay.
Yay! And joining us again is none other than Ali. Awesome. We're back to being a doggo.
Yep.
I should give you that title for that just for this episode is a doggo. All right. So, a lot of stuff has been happening this past week and a good bit, and onto a bit of housekeeping and stuff. On side news, I know sports ball fever is a thing, and I know a lot of people were actually excited and happy the U.S. team lost.
That is true. Yes, that is unfortunately true. And wasn't like a zero?
Yes, it was 0-0, and then it went to penalties, and then
Right.
everybody even missed, including even the famed, the famed colored hair mistress herself, Megan Rapinoe, also missed and got mocked for hell and back for it.
Yeah, and most Americans were voting for what was it, Sweden, right?
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're here, you can give your friend Terry a big thanks for that one.
Yes, for sure. I'll congratulate him on his victory.
That's right. I mean, this is at the end of the day what happens if you go that way and you vote and you don't love your country. Play for it.
Yeah, super lame.
But they had it coming anyway, and I'm just happy, the United States won't pick up another title. So there's that. There's still a lot more other side news that we may or may not have missed on our time with all these absences. Who's seen the season 1 trailer for Lackadaisy?
I think I have. It was some time ago, though.
Yeah.
Wait, wasn't that the one we talked about, like the first episode?
Yeah, we know.
Yep.
We had the pilot episode and everybody was taken back by it, but now I think they're legit full on going to make it like an animated series out of it. Season 1, all these episodes. I wasn't we all thought it was a one and done thing, right? But come on, it was
From
so
what
good.
from what I caught from what the fans were talking about, this is a long-running comic series that they wanted to produce into a actual full-on cartoon, and it just takes time. And it seems like they were able to build up enough momentum with the pilot they made that they're able to continue on, which is great.
Yeah, like reactions across the board were amazing, even for that pilot too. It really is a triumph for like traditional animation.
Yeah, I mean, memorable characters. They had a good music score, voice acting. I mean, pretty much everything about it was great. And
Yeah,
it has furries in it, so that's a double plus. I mean, come on. What
Yeah,
more? What more do you want?
yeah, like the cinematography for that as well was it was something else.
Hmm.
So we actually, one season we're looking forward to like all these, a full-on series with mini episodes. What's not to like about that, eh?
So there is an actual trailer that was released relatively recently, right?
That's correct.
Ah, I have not seen it yet. Okay. Oh, cool. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, it was just released a few weeks ago, kind of recently. But we were so occupied with having fun, it was,
Yeah, I was
I'd be
planning
saying.
and doing all kinds of stuff for the con and everything, so I just missed it. Oh well.
Nah, but you know what? Something to look forward to for sure, for sure. So, yeah, for that. All right. So, let us get started on the really the big meat and bones for this week's episode. So, first item. Denver military cosplay.
Now, just to ask a simple question, does this include police uniforms?
Um, I don't know. It might because they tried to do this a couple of years ago at A&E.
Right, tactical. You couldn't allowed to wear police SWAT tactical gear and all that sort of stuff.
Well, it wasn't like necessarily you weren't allowed to. It's like the German Shepherd personas that were, police dogs, like police themed, like my buddy Ace, like that happened to him. Like they were harassed by other people because you support the police. Oh, how dare you, you fascist! And like they were legit getting bullied for it. So this is actually an official policy based on the military. Let's see. How about the hotel? Okay.
Okay, Denver's hotel asked that any tactical gear, military spec, or paramilitary gear and clothing not be worn as cosplay at the venue. This does not include pants or cargo pants, shirts or tank tops and/or luggage.
All right, so they're basically, I'm assuming they're referring to official uniform and not what would be classified as casual clothing.
Right, right. You know, government issued uniforms and all that, and what have you.
Is that what they're actually saying? Because they said
Perhaps. But
What?
there's more to that. Let's read on. In the simplest of terms, if you want to cosplay something from Call of Duty, that is a no-go. If you want to cosplay as Master Chief, that's fine.
Now, I got a
okay.
problem with that. I'm sorry, but I do have a problem with that because technically it's not a real military outfit, but technically it is, a military outfit, just fake.
Right. Like
Realistic looking.
where do you draw the line between reality and suspension of disbelief? And
Well,
what
when
have you?
they discriminate with video games, I mean things are getting weird.
Or like, what about from TV series and what have you? Ah,
What about if you walk in there wearing a Stargate setup? Oh, wait, that's the Air Force, but would that count?
Probably.
what
I'm sure
about
they could
like
find a
what's
problem
it
with it.
called? The old school movies, if you want to cosplay as Sylvester Stallone.
Good luck with that.
Yeah. Right. Now, let's keep reading on. But any realistic military gear is of concern as it puts non-convention hotel guests in a concerned state.
No, wait, non-guest?
Non-convention hotel guests. Just people who go, book a room at the hotel not for the purposes of attending Denver.
Yeah, I call bullshit on that because nobody's complaining about that. 0 people have a problem.
Hang on, just
Come
just
on.
just out of curiosity, with con stuff, if someone's not attending the actual con itself, why do they matter when it comes to who's attending the event? Now, I can understand about something like noise complaints or complaints about destruction, people going around putting stickers on poles and that sort of shit, by all means. But the actual attendees, unless they're doing something like running around butt naked or, masturbating
Right.
in public,
It's
I mean,
I mean, it's like got some. Maybe it's got something to do with shared venue space usage because most cons basically share a space with the hotel that they're hosting it in. So you've got, you got mixed.
So
Yeah.
what? So you have to conform to the non-furs there? What if you're like in a fursuit and you have like a military like outfit on? Is that a problem? Like if you have a belt or a sash or something, is that like all? What is this stupid?
Right. Let's keep reading on. To reiterate, this means items such as tactical harnesses with webbing, plate carriers, combat helmets with face coverings, combat gloves, and any other paraphernalia that may be worn over regular clothing of a military or tactical nature are not being allowed at the venue. Wearing an actual military uniform is a different matter. You may wear your
See,
dailies or dress uniform if you're an active duty service member or a veteran. You must provide your military ID or VA card to ConOps if asked.
Okay, so then why is that okay, but everything else isn't? I mean, I'm glad at least the veterans and actual military people they can do that if they want to, but I don't know. Something about this doesn't seem right.
Mm.
uh, to be honest, it might sound a bit harsh, but why aren't they blocking actual service personnel from not attending if they don't want people who are dressing up, playing as if they are?
Because I think
Or,
non-furry guests probably like are some military people come do there. They come like off duty or whatever. Maybe.
what about it's like with that German Shepherd one, for instance. I mean, ban that, but active military you're going to allow?
Mm-hmm.
I guess.
All right, let's keep going on. But most of the stuff. Okay, so this is in part due to an uptick in imposters and stolen valor actors that have caused issues at this hotel. Tell me what
Wait,
it is.
so does anyone know exactly what they're talking about?
Like people with
Vera?
stolen valor, basically they pretend to be war heroes that say, "Oh, I got, I
Yeah,
got
but
shot or I, did."
dressing up in a Stargate uniform as a fairy versus someone
That's
actually pulling stolen valor is a bit of a different
true.
scenario because I'm pretty sure if you're wearing the tags and everything for
Mm-hmm.
the SGC or whatever, it doesn't look military. Or at least people attending, you'd hope, would understand that it's not military.
Mm-hmm.
You'd hope someone actually doing you'd hope the police would know the difference.
Yeah.
Or
Anyway,
if they have that on and they have a tail. I mean,
it's like. Mm-hmm. Now, we keep reading. Now, if your fursuit has some tactical gear based around it, the hotel will allow that.
What?
what? Then what the hell are they saying?
The hotel, not Denver.
Oh my god.
So at
Then
the end of the day, it's an issue that has manifested with the hotel that they're hosting the convention space at.
Yeah, but they don't say that directly.
Mm.
first sentence he said
Oh
the
no, no, the
hotel
hotel asked
Yeah,
that any tactical gear. Okay, so this is in Denver. This is company policy.
that's in Denver's hotel that they're hosting it at. That's
Right.
that's one of those things. So it's a Sheraton Denver downtown. Okay, now we'll keep spitting through this, but here's another big one that I've kind of want to highlight, and we'll go through the discussion from there. Currently, with the country's political and social climate around firearms and paramilitary style weaponry and gear, the hotel wants to keep that image out of the venue. Okay, then. So,
like is it did the hotel really ask them to do this?
I Well, I would believe so. Otherwise, they wouldn't have to be issuing a statement like this. Or in other cases, you'd find another hotel that would be amenable to hosting the convention. So, really, who's the one that's jumping the gun here? Who's the one that's really at fault here? Is it Denver or is it the hotel?
Has Denver done anything like this in recent years?
No, not in recent years. No, not to my knowledge.
And they've been at the same hotel for quite some time, right? Like, this isn't a new location.
Yeah.
But by the way, this is actually in Canada and not in America, correct?
This is in the United States, Colorado.
Denver, Colorado. Okay, sorry, I thought
Denver,
this was Canada.
No. No.
So Denver's been going on for what, many years? Same hotel?
More or less since the rebranding, maybe about 2018 and onwards.
All right, still that's quite a bit.
Yeah, 2018 since the rebranding, and from there on, it's a hotel that seems to have a venue. So, really, at the end of the day, you would think that the issue at hand is where the venue, the event of the venue the event has held that has just basically made this just the big problem to gripe with. So,
Ali, do you have any opinions on this?
I don't have a lot to say on it, other than I just think that sort of thing is ridiculous. Because, like what you were talking about, it has never been an issue until now, apparently. Like,
yeah, weird,
I
right?
just thought it was dumb.
Like it's maybe it's like an over the top overreaction to something that's been innocuous, because it doesn't help that it's not made so clear, because it's like you can't just walk around wearing that sort of gear, but they're trying to make concessions for fursuiters if they got gear incorporated as part of their character.
Honestly, if I had that sort of gear, I would wear it to a convention, since I'm a German Shepherd, and I'm not a knockoff old Yeller. By the way, the haters that were saying that shit online, get it right. I'm a German Shepherd, bitches.
Right on.
If I had, it's like you said, if you had all this if your character incorporated military gear as part of their shtick or whatever it is by design, you name it, you'd wear it, right?
Yeah.
100%. Like you'd bring the whole 9 yards to the con, show it off.
Like, I don't know.
Main character.
Yeah, like, I don't know if their reason on that is for, like, if it's, like, quote unquote offensive or something like that, but if that was the case, like, I just want to say this, like, to the people out there, not all cops are bastards. Like, yes, there are going to be shitty cops, but not all cops are like that, so y'all need to get y'all shit together, like, and stop shitting on cops. And yeah,
and even like police furries too. Like I was saying earlier, I've literally seen it happen. People were told to like take their vests off or something, or like their badges, because it's offensive, and like what? People were literally like banned from chats and stuff for this, for like literally zero reason. It's nuts.
Yeah, and with this sort of thing, we go back to the whole the whole reality versus fiction thing, incorporating with fursuits. It's just at this point, people are going to try and find a loophole to get past all this and say, "Oh, it's part of my fursuit."
Well, at least you could always just rip off the insignias and tags. Mostly they're attached with Velcro if you're not cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, mate. But I guess the whole thing is, where do we draw the line with video games, right? Call of Duty? Nah. Halo? Yep. It's got to be too, like, the suspension of disbelief has to be too far high up to be okay. Is that how we're gonna roll it?
I guess so. Or like Umbrella Corporation or something like that. Good lord.
Like, yeah, I didn't mean to say like anything goofy, but like what I mean is like, yeah, I just think that shit's ridiculous. How they want to like get rid of of how they want to start not allowing like fursuiters to wear like fake police uniforms or whatever if it's part of their fursuit. Like if German Shepherd fursuiters wanted to do that, for example.
So, what happens if it's hunting gear?
That would mean it'd just be like the firearms policy in any case.
A deer wearing one of those hunting vests and having some gear, not the gun, mind you, or ammunition, but all the other like gear someone would go with, going out hunting.
Yeah,
I'm coming for
tactical
you, them
belt.
wolves.
Remember how what's it called? Remember how they took the gun out of the what's it called? The guy from Bugs Bunny. What's his name again? Elmer Fudd.
Yeah.
Yeah, they replaced it with a scythe. Go like that. Go like that. Do that. Because remember that the new one of him, they did away with the gun.
Yeah, I mean, Looney Tunes used to be damn violent. My goodness, if you like watch some of the old episodes from like the 40s, shush. Oh boy.
But that's cartoon violence. I mean, Tom and Jerry sort of took it to a comedic level, and then we got Itchy and Scratchy.
Yeah, okay, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's bad or anything. Bugs Bunny's great.
Yeah.
Bugs Bunny shows the kind of person you want to be, the one that makes a fool out of the fool.
Yeah, right? Duck season, rabbit season, duck season, fire! Classic.
Go wrong with that. All right, so we've got another item on for this episode, and oh my goodness, this one is it's circling down the drain. This one, yes, the saga with Baldur's Gate 3 just keeps going on.
Wait, so are they releasing like a full video of the whole bear scene, or?
Well, they already did that in the trailer. Now the game is out. The game's been released, and it's by no means a bad game. Like if the reviews from players are to go by. And yes, we know the bear thing was one of their big selling points. You can back on with a bear. Granted, he's a shapeshifter druid, but still.
Joel, was your cousin getting support still, or?
What, the squirrel who got traumatized that he dropped an acorn upon watching this?
Yeah.
Cool.
Joel's cousin is in therapy now because of that.
Nah, he's looking like, I've seen some shit, and I need some bleach. Nah, well, I'll talk to my cousin about this. I'll probably be a therapy squirrel. So I'll be a service squirrel.
That's what you are already.
Yeah, I wonder why. But now we have so much more quirks to the whole Baldur's Gate 3 saga, as if the whole bear thing wasn't enough. Here's the first one that's there. And yes, we are basically going to cross over into 18 plus territory. So be aware of that.
Well, they do say sex sells, so.
Mm-hmm. Baldur's Gate 3 lets you play the whole game completely naked.
Oh, they've been welcoming to the nudist community. Why?
Right.
Oh, wait, this is an adult game, isn't it? Well,
Yeah,
It
it is.
should be.
Yeah. And you know what the bizarre thing is? A lot of news outlets, like the mainstream and all that, and games outlets, and have basically gone head over heels with the amount of sexual content that's in the game and nudity content that's in the game. Gee, I wonder why.
Well, sex sells, so
You know,
I guess
mhm.
they're running with that.
Yeah. And right now, it's pretty much going to be the only role playing game that does not require you to modify it for full immersion. And it's like, you know what, it's like you can remove the clothes on anyone, everyone, and just be like, oh,
sorry. Wait, so you could have. Oh. Oh, that's dirty minds. Dirty, dirty minds.
I love how it says like the NPCs like they don't even acknowledge it at all.
yeah,
Like it's just a
just like,
nun.
oh, okay, here's a dude with his stinko out.
Right, so let's go on this quest and don't think about it.
Yeah, who needs armor? That just slows you down.
Yeah, seriously. Dragon
I'm a
fire, who
barbarian.
cares?
Speed, speed is my forte. Righto. And yeah, live comment. Boxer Husky, can I make my character ungodly ugly? Well, if you're into that sort of thing, yes. There is, again, it's a role playing game. You got a character creation tool, and you know what? Yeah, go crazy with it. There's a lot of customization on it, so go nuts. And then we get to this part of Baldur's Gate 3. The best thing Baldur's Gate 3 has added to Dungeons and Dragons is underpants lore.
What?
What? Jinx.
It's like, oh, here I've got a like you like imagine this scenario for a minute, okay? You walk into a tavern and then you find a button and then you ask him, tell me a story, and then it's a story. I have a story and it's about my underwear, and you're like, what?
Okay.
I'm sorry, but are they going to introduce at some point the ability to date a dragon?
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Ooh, that's dangerous thing right there, buddy. It's called
No,
the slippery. Yeah.
No, I'm serious. With where they're going, I mean, if you go into a dungeon, are they going to give you the option to, ask the dragon or whatever the boss is out on a date instead of fighting it?
I mean, that's what Donkey did in Shrek. Oh, you were a girl dragon. I mean, that worked out for him. But
there you go.
I imagine.
Now, Vera, you should think more gay because, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right.
I know, because the fact of the matter is, the last scene that we had with the bear was it was a gay bear.
Of course it was.
Of course it was.
Like, I'm kind of curious about the underwear lore, though. Like, you walk into a tavern, right?
Yeah,
yes. For these were made by the wizard.
Tell you the story about the underwear.
Yeah, right. And it goes in like a long-winded tale of the journey across the mountainsides and everything crazy. Goodness.
Yeah, but bits and bobs of it, it's just become a bit weird. And now they've changed the inventory, the way that you can modify your equipment, change it out. Is that you can there's a lot of slots for changing your equipment and all that, and apparently you can change your underwear or have it not there at all. You play the game naked completely.
What the heck?
Go around your character playing naked, right?
I'm pretty sure, like, not even GTA did something this bonkers.
No, like, not every other role-playing game. Like, you remove all the characters' equipment and stuff, you're left with their underwear. which is like stock standard for every other character, plus models and all that.
Right, because kids could probably get a hold of this game and play it anyway if they wanted to.
Right, and even then, like with all the other role-playing games, Dragon Age, Elder Scrolls, you name it, take off all their stuff, you're left with the character's underwear.
Yeah,
Which,
true.
yeah, can't be removed. And now, the bizarre, interesting part that Baldur's Gate 3 has done is that they've given characters bespoke undergarments that it also gives writers an opportunity to describe them. And they have gone all out.
Okay, there are some people with some, I'm guessing, like exhibitionist fetishes or something that made this game.
We'll get to more of that at the moment, because it's like, imagine you've gone out there and you decide, you know what, let's think about this. Let's do another scenario. Imagine you're part of the writing team in Baldur's Gate 3, and then you decide, let's inject a bit of humor for it. Who do you go to write this bit of humor? Do you go to do you advertise at one of those at a sex expo? Do you advertise to furries? What?
It seems like they're doing both. So I don't know. Maybe.
So, I've got a question, and I would like Ali to also answer this. But
oh no,
do you think if somebody could be arrested for a long list of, well, let's just say, taboos if they bought this game?
Mm-hmm.
Because technically there are things in this game that you can do which is illegal, and I'm pretty sure, having it with a bear is pretty much one of them.
But what if the bear can change shape, though?
Yeah, it's a magical gay bear.
Yeah, what if it can turn into an anthropomorphic bear?
That's
That'd be
where
cool.
the werewolf question comes into mind. Because let's be real, if they did that and and you could romance a werewolf, every single furry in the world would buy this game, if only to mack a werewolf.
Oh, totally, for sure. Now, I don't know about getting arrested for this, but I mean, if people in real life did what is in the game, then, well, yeah, of course they would, because they're breaking several laws. But I imagine if it would spill over into the real world, if like a parent bought this for like an 8-year-old or something, that might be a problem.
Yeah, at this point, I'd find it a little difficult if someone didn't Google this game at least to find out, oh shit, I don't want my kid being able to.
Yeah. To
I
do this
swear.
and get the crazy ideas in this game.
I swear, I'm about to kink shame the developers of this game.
It's just so blatant,
Like, yeah, I know Larry and the developers have a zany sense of humor, and I didn't go like nobody expected them to go all out and for them to I don't know, have some fetishists in their writing team or something, right?
Well, from what we've heard, I mean, the game's got some good reviews, so I mean, they're probably doing something right. I guess.
mean, yeah, most people are praising the core gameplay elements, and that a lot of them. You got to remember, a lot of them are fans of like the old school computer RPGs because, like we said earlier, Baldur's Gate hasn't had a new release for 2 decades.
Well, look, let's just be honest. I mean, Left 4 Dead, I remember seeing the option to install mods that would allow you to have Zoe like bare-chested or completely butt-naked. I mean, this has existed as third-party add-ons, but to see a first-party sort of option in game by default.
Yeah, you don't need mods to
The game's adult though, isn't it? It's not like a G rating, is it? It's like M15 plus or something.
At that point, you'd probably rate it as R. R-rated 18 plus at that point. But yes. Now, where did we leave off to continue the underwear side of things? All right. Let's read. Each recruitable companion's undies are accompanied by a few words that somehow reinforce the core of their personality. one of the characters, Astarion, the dandy wears wreaths embroidered with the message: "If you're reading this, you managed to bed me or behead me. Either way, you got lucky."
I'm sorry, but I don't see a place like D&D having that as an option for underwear with embroidery like that.
Right, or like who basically gets custom underwear with a micro, with a message etched onto it or in the patterning, and it's like, you know, seriously.
I love how it says, "Well, that tells you everything you need to know about the Sword Coast, the
Coast
Sword Coast
President
War."
Big Note.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like you're friggin'. Yeah, it's like they really have gone all out with the that sort of writing. It's like you gotta wonder what are they trying to.
Yeah, sorry, it's just when it comes to embroidery, there's only certain amount that people could do with the technology of the time. But to embroider something like that on the underwear, it's just, yeah, that's not how underwear was back then, if you had it at all.
Yeah. Oh, there's more to this too. Imagine this. Well, there's one more. Here's another one from Baldur's Gate 3 Underwear Lore. Gale, one of the characters, wears these Neverese wreaths described like this: energy crackles around these. Gale wouldn't. Surely he didn't enchant his.
Okay. And this lets you know that Gale uses magic more than was ordinary. Wow, just like the ancient wizards of Lost Netheril.
What the fuck that I came back to?
Exactly.
Right, and it's like, oh, you sound like you're impotent. Would you like some underwear enhanced with magical libido?
It crackles with energy. What the hell?
I I went away. I went away to go get a slice of pizza, and I came back to this shit.
This is what
Oh.
pizza cost you, Ali. This is what it cost you.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I don't know at this point with this game. I'm assuming that there's going to be a fan base that this is going to sort of turn off a little bit, but I wonder what the
Yeah.
D&D franchise thinks about this whole thing, because isn't Baldur's Gate like a...
Is it part of the Dungeons and Dragons universe? That's correct.
I wonder how far they can actually go. I mean, it seems like literally having sex with a bear doesn't seem to have gone over the top for like the primary corporation, but I have to wonder what will be.
Right, and if it's the idea that wearing magic underpants is the next big thing, then
They were like, no, having sex with a bear is not enough. Let's make this shit more degenerate.
Yeah, and then, but hey, at the end of the day, Baldur's Gate is a role-playing game, so if that is your fantasy, well, that's pretty much the niche that you're gonna end up ticking.
To the people watching this out there, if it is your fantasy, I'm kink shaming you. Shame on you.
Because it's like now, the more you look at this, it's more like, okay, this is basically somebody's the grand quest for degeneracy.
Well, Noble brought up a pretty good point. Like, typically you can get mods and stuff for this, but I think this, yeah, you might be right. This is the first time that an actual, like, first-party game did this. At least to this level, I think.
Yeah.
Because there's some pretty messed up games out there. You have to search for them, but even like back in the day, like PlayStation 1, PS2, they had some pretty crazy stuff.
Oh,
And even then, like the older style of character creations for RPGs were not even this detailed.
That's true.
To be honest, sorry, but this kind of looks like Second Life. I mean, you're restricted in certain ways, but it looks basically like Second Life.
Right. And then Second Life is basically a life sim. The thing is, like, Second Life is a life sim. You design the character the way you want it to, and all that, with nothing really to hold you back other than Linden's terms of service and what have you.
Oh, even Linda's terms of service doesn't hold anyone back.
But this is just purebred, nothing but fantasy, and they cranked up the dial for the generate all the way up. And here
Yeah,
I thought, Dragon Age 2, the newer iterations of Dragon Age were pretty degenerate.
I just have to ask this, but what would happen if you could actually go create a character that was basically yourself, your real self? I
It's
mean,
just like
not
any
a
other character
druid or wizard
creation
or
thing.
anything, but
No.
it's kind of like those Japanese anime that's been coming out lately, where you get people from our world going to some mystical place and going on an adventure.
Yeah. I mean, that would be a whole other experience, though. Wouldn't necessarily know, but alas, this is what we're stuck with. We're basically stuck with a quest to find magical underwear that boosts your potency in the bedroom or something.
Are they going to release like a DLC for dildos and such, or what? Is Bad Dragon going to take out sponsorship for this?
Oh, don't give them any ideas. They might.
I honestly don't know how to feel about this right now.
I mean, on the one hand, you can create some pretty sexy dragon characters because, again, the Dragonborn are a thing in the Dungeons and Dragons universe.
Nice.
On the other, yeah, but yeah, we want go wild. Won't give you any ideas. Some pretty, yeah. There are some pretty insane ideas. And yeah, let's move forward. Let's move forward to something a little bit better than that now.
Thank God.
Yes.
I'm mocking this right now, but I don't know how I should really feel about it, to be honest.
I don't know. Just get the game if you want to. Go wild, and yeah. Now to move into something that's a bit better, a bit more cleaner, considerably more cleaner, and everything else in between. We have this one here. Now, who remembers a story about a Japanese man who'd spend a fortune making an elaborate a dog costume to live out his fantasy of being a dog?
Very much so.
Yeah, the internet exploded over this.
Right.
Yeah, it's been some time now, but I'm sitting here thinking the Japanese have a couple of people like this. I mean, there's a wolf that someone wears around out in public over there. It's pretty realistic looking, and I saw a video of a kid like walking up and just poking it.
Yeah, the wolf was like on the bench. I saw that one.
There's a cat at a cash register and it's like serving customers, and it looks pretty realistic. I mean, how does a collie sort of?
Well, I mean,
Apparently-
I've seen stuff at like Anthrocon and other Furcons before. Like some people have some really elaborate looking suits. And yeah, you're right. This actually isn't mostly Japanese. They either look very anime-like or realistic.
Yeah, it's very, very much like a big spectrum. And this is one of the more ultra-realistic ones, probably the most. And apparently the man said he went with a rough collie because its features can fool a lot of people and like to thinking it's real.
I don't think that was his intention per se.
Right, but his intention first and foremost was to actualize his dream of being an animal. And
So he's not a furry. He's like a Therian, or he probably doesn't even know what that means.
he probably might not even know what that means, or what both of them mean. But you know what? More power to him if he wants to live his dream like that. So,
I mean, that's pretty impressive, I have to say. And for like 14,000, yeah, that's probably a realistic estimate for something like that.
Yeah. Well, not just the fur, but the craftsmanship required, and everything else in between.
Oh yeah, the whole
Realize
thing.
Yeah, and of course, like and you thought fursuit prices were bad for a whole new fursuit. This dude just went like, "Oh, hold my beer."
Seriously. If he showed up at Anthrocon, I bet he'd be a total hit.
Oh,
Well,
people would go nuts.
Yeah. Well, dude, at that point, he'd basically be guest of honor.
Yeah, or like J-Moff or something if he doesn't want to travel.
Exactly. If he's all that, he'd be guest of honor straight away in J-Moff. Just like that. Because of how great the suit is, And
his
look
name
at
is
him though.
so
Look at
cool.
him. He's out.
Oh.
He's out for a walk.
Well, he's definitely a chunky boy, but
Well, he did. Yeah, he chose the collie because of the size difference between that breed and humans.
I can say this, but I have seen a dog in real life that fat.
Aw.
And no, it wasn't a person. And the owners were. I honestly don't know how to
If you
say
had to
this.
have picked a dog breed that big to because of the size difference between dogs and humans, you'd what? You'd normally pick a pit bull or a Great Dane.
A Malamute. That or a
Fair.
wolfhound.
Fair enough.
Doberman. That's one of my favorites.
You can't really hide the fat. I mean, a Malamute you could, but a Doberman not so much. They're short-haired.
A greyhound you might be able to, but you'd have to be about as skinny as a twig.
What about in German Shepherds?
I guess so.
I mean, you could. It might be possible. Yeah.
I don't know why people are like so concerned about this. It's not like we haven't seen realistic quad suits before.
Yes, but at the same token, like people are gonna react to it the way that people would because it's like it's so bizarre, blah blah blah. It's so creepy.
I mean, it's weird for sure.
Huh?
Now, I do like watching Ben Shapiro from time to time, and he actually did a response video on this, and he was just like, "The whole world is crumbling. Look at this degenerate. How we're moving backwards." Like, he had some really mean shit to say about this guy.
Hold on. When you say degenerate, is this guy going out and humping people's legs?
No, but he insinuated that he probably would, or like piss in public. I don't know. It's just Ben. He's just being
But
comedic.
all we've seen of this dog is that all we've seen of the dog is that he's waving his paw, rolling around, playing fetch, and reacting to real dogs.
Oh yeah, that was interesting. I wonder if the dogs were like confused.
And to nobody's surprise, the real dogs just step back.
Wait, do you actually have a video of him interacting with a real dog?
Yes, it's on his YouTube channel. And
damn, I gotta say that's really cute though. I mean, that's so cool.
So as long as he's not going out doing anything, I'd say problematic.
Nah, he's just being a dog. It seems. I don't know.
I've seen worse.
Just being a dog.
I'll be honest. I mean, this is pretty tame compared to what can happen.
Yeah.
But
and the jaw moves and everything. That is so convincing.
So legit,
Goodness.
I kind of wish I was him.
I mean, quad suits are interesting. They require quite a bit of work, but they look cool.
Yeah, it's just I wouldn't do a quad suit because some can be uncomfortable. Like some you would have to like bend your arms, like and like have your elbow on the floor, as the fee. If you like, if you want to do something like that, that's what I heard.
Oh yeah, I think with a lot of the pony, like the brony type of suits, they have to like, yeah, because they don't have like regular feet. They have like hooves. They're flat. So yeah, I think that's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to prop themselves up with stilts and what have you, and that makes things a bit more challenging in terms of how you're gonna do it with a quad, how
Yeah.
you're gonna move around in a quad suit.
Yeah.
Like, here's a speculation on how the man could possibly fit into the dog suit.
Huh.
Right, you've got the man basically using his hands as his as his frontal paws, and then using the knees to walk around as the hind paws.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I mean,
and you can kind of imagine how unsettlingly uncomfortable it is just to be tucked in that position and walk on your knees.
and with a thick fur, it's super hot. It gets hot pretty damn easily. I wonder how the
Yeah,
vision is on this thing.
right. Because you can, yeah, it's see just how you know difficult it is.
Maybe
I
they're like
bet.
sunglasses.
Yeah, you've got and then just from there the eyes and all, yeah, just imagine how awkward it is. Like when you try to move like a dog at that point. It's
Well, this was his
yeah.
desire. 1.7 million yen on this thing. So you know what? If he's having fun with it, good on you.
I know.
I mean, maybe I'm biased because I'm a furry, but I really don't see a big problem with this at all. It just looks fun.
Yeah. But at the same token, like it's one of those things. Like the man's also afraid of venturing out in public with it too.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a time and a place for stuff like that. It's always like kind of awkward whenever I see not always furries in public, but when they do really weird cringe stuff, like go to Walmart and bounce around in the pets department, like weird crap like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But here, it's in things like these. At least you have the advantage of going into a dog park, wearing that dog suit, and it's you know what, you blend right in.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I'm probably thinking wrong at this point, but what happens if he came face to face with a dog catcher?
Back to the
Ooh.
pound you go.
And of course, he doesn't want to break character, so he's not going to say anything in the suit. He'll just be like, bark, bark, bark.
He just probably look at you naively and say, like he just tilt his head and.
Oh yeah.
Oh, if you're speaking of the fursuiting at Walmart sort of thing, one time I went to a pet store to get a collar for like one of my for one of my furry things, and the worker asked what kind of dog I had, and I didn't know what to say.
You could have said German Shepherd. I mean, right? Kinda.
I know,
Right.
but it was still an awkward sort of moment. Like,
Yeah, well, being put on the spot and stuff. I get that.
But all up though, you really do have to hand it to the man. It's
yeah.
Dedication.
but really, yeah. Aside from that, I guess we'll just look at that. I guess we'll look at the time here. Coming a bit close, but you know what? I'd say it would be a good time to wrap it up on this note.
Okay.
Okay, so who's got a bit of a closing statement just to round out what we've got for this week?
I think we sort of tackled something we probably shouldn't have. I mean, this is old news, the whole dog thing, but
But
Baldur's
now
Gate
it's
is
like it's
old
been
news as
a
well.
bit of a new development in that now everyone's reacting to how to it, and now the man's gone out for a walk, and we've seen the suit in action, and now the internet's just reacted. You got all these comments saying, "Oh, this man's dedicated, and I hope this man's living his dream." To this is creepy. What you're a freaking weirdo, and you're an idiot who's got so much money to burn.
But he's not the only person. There are so many other furries that do this shit.
Right.
Even with this
Exactly.
level of detail, I mean, I don't get
I
it.
will. Yeah, you got to. But there is one thing you have to admire is that the Japanese just go all in with whatever they do. The Japanese go all in with it. They're really committed.
They are pretty headstrong when it comes to certain things, a lot more than what you see in Western countries.
For sure, for sure. But yeah, anything else you want to add about the other items, Snowball? Just to
Not
round things
really.
up.
Just a shame we don't have Disney on today.
Well, it would have been great to because we all know, just as a roundup to that, the what's it called? AIs are just taking over the whole creative industry, and it's just hilarious. Isn't it right? Like you're watching all these writers saying they're gonna lose their jobs, and there's protesting against AI.
The downside is they're turning around and providing companies a reason to.
Hmm.
That
Yeah,
is
for
true.
sure. For sure, for sure. So with that on, Ali, is there any closing statement you'd like to add for this?
Yes, for one, about the whole thing of how Denver is getting rid of the police uniform sort of thing that some fursuiters have been wearing for a while now.
Hmm.
For some reason, I really think it's ridiculous. Um, the second topic that we talked about, I'm just like, what the fuck? This shouldn't be in a game,
I don't know,
but
but
it's in a game anyways. Um, and about the other topic,
the dog thing.
with the dog costume, I like no matter how creepy it is to a lot of people, I like the whole dog costume thing. I think it's really cool.
Hmm.
But that's all I have to say.
Right on. And Avera.
Alrighty. Yeah, that was fun. Uh, I'm just wondering if like the hotel at Denver, if they really did do that, or if it's just a cop out for like, I mean, I don't know. Because if this was like their hotel policy, why all of a sudden now? Doesn't really make sense, and I don't think it's gonna sit well with a lot of people. And considering just how vague it is, that's going to give them quite some opportunities to, ban whoever they want, I guess, or at least ostracize them. So that's
Yeah,
not really cool.
by virtue of doing nothing but wear military attire to
Yeah,
said con.
that's messed up.
Hmm.
And oh boy, I can't wait to see what kind of characters people will develop in Boulder. That's
Twitter, sorry, X.com will become an official porn site then, and people start posting screenshots.
I mean, it already sounds like it is, so might as well be.
Hmm.
And yeah, Toko, the dog dude, yeah, I think he's pretty darn dedicated, and yeah, like I said, he'd be a total hit at like JMoff or Anthrocon or pretty much anywhere. So
Any other FurCon, like now it's gonna be a big race to see which FurCon scrambles to get him as guest of honor.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
That's pretty much
that's
it
like
for me.
maximum bragging rights for that one, man. Straight up.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, no, it's It's just gonna be really interesting too. Like, don't get me wrong, I was interested in Baldur's Gate 3 because of the fact that it's another. I love RPG games. I really do. Especially now, more so, when you can play as like more non-human characters, like a dragon or dragon-esque character. But now they've made the selling point of saying that this is. We all know that this is all like somebody else's fetish in video game form. It's just, yeah, it's just a bit much. Let's be real here. But aside from all of that, thank you to all those who tuned in. I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did making it. As always, our episodes are available on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Play.fm, iHeartRadio, BitChute, and more further down the line. All right, this is us signing off for the week. Farewell, and until next time.
Bye, everyone. Ciao.